En este video, Jordan Peterson, el famoso doctor en psicología clínica, intelectual, crítico cultural y profesor de psicología canadiense, conversa con el magnate Elon Musk. Durante la conversación, Musk declara la verdadera razón por la que decidió adentrarse en la batalla cultural y la razón principal por la que no está de acuerdo con la ideología de género y todo lo que compete a esto. Mira el video completo y dime qué opinas de lo que dice Musk y si puedes llegar a sentir su tristeza.
I'm particularly unhappy with what my colleagues in the psychological field have done with regards to gender-affirming care.
Right.
I think they are a pack of contemptible cowards.
Yes.
And I think that everyone who's been involved in this in relationship to minors should go to prison.
I agree.
Okay. Why do you agree? What's your oar in the water in this particular? This is the worst medical and psychological malpractice I've ever seen anywhere, including what I've done, what I've studied in reference to historical atrocity, eugenics, what do you call those, prefrontal lobotomy, even the sorts of things that were going on in Nazi Germany. At least the bloody Nazis knew it was wrong and tried to hide it.
Yes.
So what's your, why are you engaged in this particular battle? I mean, you said you're going to move a couple of your company headquarters out of California because of the last legislative move that Gavin Newsom pulled with regards to the trans issue. So
yes, I mean, to be clear, there were many things leading up to that point.
Yes.
I was still like, look, it's not that it's the one straw; it's just the final straw.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a cumulative issue. Fair enough.
It's a cumulative issue.
Right. So it's not dramatic grandstanding. It's
no, and moreover, I've had conversations with Gavin Newsom before where I said, if you pass legislation like this, if you sign legislation like this, that in my view puts children in danger, I will move my companies out of California. And he knew that ahead of time.
Okay, you've talked to him directly about this. What the hell is he doing? Like, I cannot understand. I really cannot understand. I mean, the Democrats...
He's pandering to the far left.
Why did the Democrat moderates constantly pander to the far left? I worked with the Democrats in California for 5 years, trying to get them to separate themselves from the far left. They wouldn't admit that they existed even, and they certainly would never separate them. Never. They wouldn't admit, for example, that Antifa even existed.
Sure.
You know, and so
burning down buildings.
There's this unbelievable blind spot with regards to the far left radicals, and the moderate Democrats I think they're useful idiots fundamentally. So
yeah, well, I mean, going back to the so-called gender-affirming care, which is a terrible euphemism.
That's for sure.
It's really a child sterilization is what it should be.
No, there's mutilation too.
Mutilation.
Yeah, well, we want to make sure that amalgam is...
Sure, fair enough. It's child mutilation and sterilization.
Yeah. Under the guise of gender-affirming care and compassion.
Right.
It's
evil.
Literally can't imagine anything worse than that.
Yes, it's evil. I mean, you're taking kids who are obviously often far below the age of consent.
Yep. Confused, miserable.
Yes. The reality is that almost every child goes through some kind of identity crisis.
It's part of puberty.
Exactly. It's just part of growing up. It's very possible for adults to manipulate children who are having a natural identity crisis into believing that they are the wrong gender.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that they need to be the other gender, or they need to be a boy, or boy needs to be a girl, and
that will solve all their problems.
And that will solve their problems, and then they give them sterilizing drugs, which are called also misnomer puberty blocker. These are sterilization drugs, so they can never have children again.
Yeah.
They can have double mastectomies.
They have their forearms stripped to build non-functioning penises.
Yeah. It's macabre. I mean, we have an age of consent for a reason. that the reason you can't get, say, tattoos below age 18, or drink or drive, there are ages at which you can do things, because if we allow children to take permanent actions when they're 10, 12, 14 years old, they will do things that they subsequently greatly regret.
Yes, I've interviewed a couple of people who've done exactly that, and it's
Right.
damn painful.
So I think you during.
Why are you willing to make this an issue? Do you think? I mean,
Well,
it's sort of like the
happened to one of
nameless issue.
it happened to one of my older boys, where I was essentially tricked into signing documents for one of my older boys, Xavier. This was before I had really any understanding of what was going on, and we had COVID going on, and so there was a lot of confusion. I was told, Xavier might commit suicide if he.
That was a lie right from the outset. No reliable clinician ever believed that. There was never any evidence for that. And also, if there's a higher suicide rate, the reason is because of the underlying depression and anxiety, and not because of the gender dysphoria. And every goddamn clinician knows that too. And they're too cowardly to come out and say it. Right? And so and then we end up in exactly, when I saw that lie start to propagate, it just made the hair on the back of my neck stand up. It's like, I see. So you're telling parents that unless they agree to this radical transformation, that their children are going to die. And you think that's moral. And you think that's true. That is so pathological that it's almost incomprehensible. I can't imagine anything worse. I can't imagine the therapist doing anything worse than that, or sitting by idly and remaining silent while his colleagues are doing it. It's pathetic.
It's incredibly evil, and I agree with you that people that have been promoting this should go to prison.
It won't stop till that happens.
Yeah,
it'll just go underground. Puberty blockers are being accessed online by kids all the time through non-medical channels. So yeah, right. It's not going to stop. Yeah. Okay, so I see. So that's.
So I was tricked into doing this, it wasn't explained to me that puberty blockers are actually just sterilization drugs. Anyway, and so I lost my son essentially. They call it dead naming for a reason.
Yeah.
All right. So the reason it's called dead naming is because your son is dead. So my son Xavier is dead, killed by the woke mind virus.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what that would be like.
Yeah. So.
And there's lots of people in that situation now.
Right.
It's not pretty, and lots of demolished kids.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's a good reason to be the final straw. All right, so let's.
So I vowed to destroy the woke mind virus after that. So we're making some progress.
Join the club.
Yeah.
Los adolescentes no tienen la madurez necesaria para tomar decisiones sobre cambios permanentes, como los tratamientos mencionados. Debido a su desarrollo psicológico y emocional, no son capaces de anticipar las consecuencias de sus decisiones a largo plazo. A nivel biológico, la corteza prefrontal es la parte del cerebro responsable de funciones ejecutivas como la toma de decisiones, el control de impulsos, la planificación a largo plazo y el juicio. Esta área del cerebro continúa desarrollándose bien hasta los 25 años. Durante la adolescencia, la corteza prefrontal está en proceso de maduración, lo que puede afectar la capacidad de los adolescentes para evaluar riesgos y tomar decisiones informadas. El sistema de recompensa en el cerebro, que incluye estructuras como el núcleo accumbens, está más activo durante la adolescencia. Esto puede llevar a una mayor búsqueda de recompensas inmediatas y a una menor consideración de las consecuencias a largo plazo. Esta mayor sensibilidad a las recompensas inmediatas puede influir en la forma en que los adolescentes toman decisiones favoreciendo gratificaciones instantáneas por sobre la planificación a largo plazo. Los adolescentes tienen capacidades cognitivas en desarrollo, incluyendo la habilidad para pensar abstractamente y considerar múltiples variables simultáneamente. Aunque estas habilidades están en progreso, no están completamente desarrolladas. La capacidad para comprender y anticipar las implicaciones complejas y a largo plazo de decisiones importantes, como los tratamientos en cuestión, puede estar limitada en comparación con los adultos. Dadas estas circunstancias, algunos adultos, incluidos profesionales de la salud, familiares o grupos de interés, pueden ejercer presión sobre los adolescentes para que tomen decisiones sobre tratamientos de este tipo sin ofrecer una evaluación exhaustiva de los riesgos y beneficios. Los adolescentes pueden ser influenciados por grupos de interés que buscan promover esta agenda política. Estos grupos pueden utilizar tácticas persuasivas para alentar a los adolescentes a adoptar sus puntos de vista, a veces ignorando las consideraciones personales y la capacidad de los adolescentes para tomar decisiones informadas. Los medios de comunicación y las redes sociales también pueden jugar un papel en la formación de opiniones de los adolescentes. Las campañas en línea pueden influir en las creencias y decisiones de los adolescentes, a veces sin un contexto completo o equilibrio en la información presentada. ¿Y tú qué opinas? Déjamelo saber en los comentarios. Y aquí culmina este video. Si te gustó, dale like, comenta el video y compártelo. Asimismo, si te gusta este tipo de contenido, suscríbete a mi canal. Muchas gracias, hasta luego.